Hello everyone, welcome back to Elite Dangerous. We are doing something a little bit more specific and different than usual when I take a look at this game. Number one, you'll notice that we are outside the ship, and this is just using the third person camera, the debug camera, as most people will probably call it. I have a new ship to introduce. This is just a Python. I actually just got it. You can kind of see my cockpit and character in there, so you can kind of see how big it is. And we're going to be touching on mining today. And I don't think many people mine because either they find it boring or daunting, but I find it to be rather relaxing. So we're going to go ahead. Camera. Yes, Astra. And pop back into our cockpit. And I'm going to just talk to you guys about how it's done and things that you need to know about mining. Mining is, well, it's a pretty straightforward process once you equip your ship correctly and you kind of know what you're looking for. So the Python, it's a great mining vessel because it's a great all-around ship to begin with. But if I go to the outfitting tab here, you can mine in an assortment of vehicles. Anything from the Cobra MK3, most multi-rolls. I mean, Type 6 is okay. It's a transport ship, but it has small turrets. So it mines slower, but, small. It's what I mined in for a little while. And then I moved up to a Type 7, and now I'm in a Python. And we can talk about outfitting at this point. So the biggest mining lasers in the game are medium hardpoint lasers. And I have two of them. This will go through a full asteroid relatively quickly, and then I'm just collecting at that point and refining. So I always suggest having two mining lasers on your ship, whether it's two small hard points, if that's all your ship has. Medium is definitely the best way to go. Right, and that's the main thing you need. I have, weaponry because I have extra hardpoints on the Python in case a pirate shows up, and I can defend myself. Some mining vessels, such as like the Type 6, Type 7, don't really have the hardpoint capabilities of doing that, and so you're kind of just stuck with your mining lasers and running if anything shows up that's hostile. But all this other stuff other than mining lasers, not necessary for mining. That's all you need in terms of weaponry and loadout hardpoint wise. Now if we go into our internals, this is kind of the big thing. One, you need enough cargo space to try and turn a profit. You can do it, as I said, with an NK3. It has an okay amount of cargo, but bigger the ship, the better, just because you can stay out there longer and collect more and more and more. And also, the more internal slots you have, the more you can fiddle with how many drones you have to collect items, and we'll just get there. So besides the cargo capacity, you're going to need, I guess the main thing for mining beyond the mining lasers is a refinery. So if we look here at the refinery, let's see, module type, and go all the way down, find the refineries, if they have any. They might not have any at this station. Oh, they do. So, refineries, as they get bigger and the class increases, they gain refinery bins. As you can see, this one is class E, well, class 1, rating E. It's one of the smallest refineries. It has one bin. Don't ever buy this. Refineries are kind of a hassle to manage if you have a small one. And so smaller ships don't really mine as well because of this main reason. If we look at my refinery, which I actually have to close out, and go to my inventory, which is where the refinery is, you can see just how many bins I have. I think I have 9. I have a class, it's size 4, class B, I believe. Class 4, rating B. Sorry, I get those confused sometimes. But it has 9 slots in here for things to be refined. And 9 is really all you need if you're just mining, in general, at least if you're mining at a metallic ring, which is what you should be mining. But as you can see, it's full up on everything. And this is all the ore I'm going to ever find in the ring that I mine in. So I never have to manage this. It's just kind of automatically cycling through refining. And then as soon as an item is done, it would just throw it in my inventory. And then that slot will get instantly start refining again, essentially. But if you do have a smaller ship and you need a smaller refinery, that's fine. It's just you're going to have to manage these. And so managing is simply just, there's these side things, and these are to vent semi-processed ore. So this endite, it's not really worth anything to me. I can hit that, and now there's an empty slot. So another ore can take that place. That's about it for the refinery. It's relatively automatic if you have a large one, but as I said, it becomes a little bit of a manage if you have a smaller one, but it doesn't mean you can't do that. So let's go back over to outfitting. So beyond the refinery, you need a couple more things. You need collector limpets, and these are important for picking up everything, because if you don't have collectors, you're going to have to manually pick up every ore, and really you don't have the time for that. Most likely it'll despawn before you have a chance to pick it up. Like there can be 40 ore chunks floating in space, and you just don't have the time to manually fly and target each one. And so you use collectors to pick them up. I suggest having 2 collectors at all time. Kind of wish it would let me see these things. Don't know why. Compare. There we go. So if we look at my collector, which is the left thing, I'm just comparing so I can bring it up. It's a class 5. It's a relatively large collector. I can have 3 active collectors at once. You want to have at least 2. That way things can get in and you can pick it up relatively easily. You're not waiting a whole long time. And wow, this is taking longer to explain than I thought. So if we quickly back out. So collectors, getting things into your inventory and refinery to refine. The last piece of the puzzle, as a car alarm goes off in the background, of course, welcome to city living, is the prospector. The prospector is a must-have just because this increases the ore yield from the asteroids. So normally without a prospector you get about 10 fragments. With a prospector you're going to get about 40. So that by itself is worth having. You only need, a size 1 or size 2, depending. I don't know if there's a size 1. I'm not sure on that. But if I go to compare so you can see it, you just need to be able to actively control 1. Because you're just going to be shooting 1 at a time, prospecting asteroids until you find one of the right percentage values with the right ore composition to actually start mining. And I'll actually start showing that pretty much now. Yeah. So as we leave, we'll go ahead. What needs to be in my fire group? Modules. Fire group. You need to set up your fire groups for all of these as well. So my mining lasers are on my alternate fire, and then my prospectors are on a different fire group altogether for my drones. I guess actually the last thing before we do leave, we need to restock. So limpets are your drones, and this is what the prospectors and collectors use. I recommend bringing about a little bit more than half of your inventory worth. If you have a smaller ship, maybe less, depending on how lucky you are. If you're going to search for specific ores, you need to bring more so you can prospect more. And if you're just looking for everything, then you need to bring less because you're using more inventory space on just all the things you're refining. Though there are certain ore that I definitely look out for over others, for sure. Even if we go to a metallic ring. So let's actually launch here.
Ship released. Engines
we are on a planet.
Landing gear retracted.
Alright. Get clear and jump.
Afterburners.
So the place I mine is, I'm in the system called Harma.
Distancing. Stand by.
Thank you, Astra. And I go to Harma A7. And
the FTL is charged and ready. Stand by.
And so I go there because
Engaging
it
challenge.
has
Charging.
a metallic ring. And metallic rings are the best rings to mine in,
2.
as they give
Engage.
the highest quality materials for selling. You can also pick up quests to earn extra money as well. So let's head off into space. I've targeted Harma. Open system map.
System cartography.
So if we look in the system, I'm going to show you just how to find out if a ring is metallic or not, because that took me a while to figure out, because everyone just mentions it and I never knew. So you just click on a planet with rings, or I guess technically asteroid fields can too, but most likely it's going to be a ring planet. You want to go to its info, and as you scroll down, the ring type is listed here. And this is the A7A ring, which is the closest ring in this case, and it is a metallic ring. And so we're going to head over there, as now there are sirens outside. Boy, this is just a crazy video right now. Well, as we get there, it's going to take a little bit, and to save time, I'll just see you guys when we're actually there. Okay, so we're coming over to the planet now, and you'll see the color change in the different rings, kind of dictating where we're going. The outer rings are kind of brown, the inner rings being kind of white. We're not going to a resource extraction site because you don't necessarily have to. In fact, it's safer not to. Though, I'm pretty sure you get better yields if you are in one, but it's just too dangerous. It's not really worth it for me. I'd rather just mine safely and quietly out in the black and keep to myself. So you can see we're going to this inner ring. You're going to go into kind of a thicker area because that's going to give you a good grouping of asteroids. They're going to be relatively closer together. And we're just going to pretty much just coast right into it here. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay. So we're here. We are in the belt. Now, I look for probably the 3 highest profiting ores, which is from the highest, painite, platinum, palladium. So painite is worth, I think, 33,000 credits each if you're just selling it to a vendor. If you have quests, sometimes one painite can go for like 200,000 credits. Let's go ahead and deploy hardpoints.
Deploying and readying weapons.
Cool. And we have our prospector and collectors ready here. And I'm just going to come over to a little asteroid
Programming limpet drone.
and fire it pretty much straight onto it and target the limpet. And it's going to attach itself to an asteroid. This process can take a while.
Prospector limpet
So
engaged.
it has 100% of its minerals remaining on this asteroid. It's 37% platinum, which is decent, and the rest is gallite, which is kind of a trash material. I'm going to go ahead and mine this one because platinum is the second most,
Programming limpet drone.
I guess, second highest kind of
Programming limpet
mineral
drone.
to mine, or metal, I guess, in this case. And we will change fire groups and just start mining. So I've deployed my limpets
Cargo
and lowered my cargo scoop so they can actually drop things off and actually put power to weapons, so my mining lasers can actually keep firing. And you can see the minerals remaining is going down relatively quickly, but you can see also all the minerals kind of showing up on my radars, that big grouping of white up there. And this will make relatively quick work of the asteroid. I'll get notifications as things get refined and processed and dropped off, and you just sit here and you do this for a little while. This asteroid is almost complete,
Asteroid depleted.
and now it is. And at this point, I kind of like to get closer to my little minerals, so my drones don't have to go as far. There we go. And I park a little bit above it usually, as they can get into the hatch a little easier if they're below you. So, as that's going, either if you have a big enough ship, you can start prospecting, you know, or you can just wait and relax, listen to some music, go check some sites as this is going on. You don't want to send out collectors if you're targeting a mineral, because collectors, if you're targeting something that they pick up, they only have one charge. That's a warning. So I always just keep the prospector targeted when I launch collectors. That way, they basically just have a timer and they collect anything in range and they just bring it to me. And that's definitely the best way to use these things. So, let's see. If you're not looking for just the 3 highest yielding resources, there's kind of the top 5 that you look for, and I wouldn't go below these. So besides painite, platinum, and palladium, there's also gold and osmium. And these are pretty much the 5 that most people will look for. As you can see, I've already collected all my minerals. But those 5 are the ones that give quests. So you'll find quests for those, and you can get some decent money if you just do mining quests. I just sell straight to the market, as doing a constant refresh looking for quests gets a little boring in my opinion. I'd rather just be out floating around in space. You know, if you're bored, you can just float around the asteroids and just listen to music and relax. And then you're just basically back to prospecting for a little while. That one asteroid, by the way, if you look over here and go to our ship cargo, 8 platinum for 18,814 each. So you can see it does make decent money, especially since you're not spending money to try and make a profit. This is 100% profit, which is nice. It's a little bit more different than trading, and it's a little bit more of an active process than trading as well, which is why I kind of enjoy it over trading. Though, as you can see, we're not finding anything else to mine right now. At least nothing that I really want. And you can launch these things pretty far. My prospectors can go up to 7,000 meters before they're just out of signal range and die. But yeah, you're pretty much prospecting, mining, and I think at this point,
Prospector limpet engaged.
Indi 18. At this point, I do want to explain the percentages just a little bit more, and then I think that's going to be pretty much it. So, I don't mind if it's below 30%. If it's below 30% of a mineral, even if it's painite, I'm not mining it, because I'm not going to get enough ores, and really I'd rather just keep prospecting and moving through the field and just looking for those large yield ones. But it is up to you. Some people do kind of say, well, you mine everything no matter what, as time is money, but I prefer just looking for the biggest stuff.
Prospector limpet engaged.
And occasionally you do find that mythical 50% painite yield, and those are just really nice to find. Lights on? Actually, my lights are already on. Thanks, Astra, for not listening for once. But you can see, you know, we're just chilling. You know, you can do some pretty fun stuff in your ship while you're waiting. You can even practice, you know, flight assist off, if that's something you want to practice while floating out in space.
Prospector limpet engaged.
And I'm also in a party with one of my friends. He's actually not with me at the moment. He's AFK, I believe. And mining with friends can be pretty fun. I suggest it. You know, you can chill and just hang out. Prospecting goes a lot quicker.
Prospector limpet
And
engaged.
if someone finds a good asteroid, you all benefit from it. So you all get your own kind of loot from it. And so technically, I was mining with two friends the other night, and we were getting, I guess, 120 minerals, essentially.
Prospector limpet
Because
engaged.
you get about 40 per person, which is great. You know, all the asteroids yield for themselves. Though I was kind of stealing some of my friends' minerals, but that's okay. They don't mind. We're all making money. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this kind of first look at mining. I'm sure it's not really for everyone, but it's something I enjoy to take take breaks from just bounty hunting all the time. And as I said, it's a relatively just relaxing thing to do. Come on, give me a good asteroid.
Programming limpet drone.
No? Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep on mining. Probably do this full mining run. If you guys enjoyed the episode and first kind of look at another profession you can do in Elite, go ahead and leave a like. Leave a comment down below if you guys are miners as well. And yeah, go ahead and check out my other videos. I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next episode. If I can actually get through this outro. And have a good one. Painting? Anyone? No? Please? No. Never is Pay Night.